Hi, this is Anna Horford, and you're listening to Horford Happy Hour. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Horford Happy Hour. This week we are talking roommates. So the good, the bad, the funny, and the ugly, we're going to talk about it today. And my guest for this week is my friend of 21 long-ass years, and her name is Jackie, and she's my oldest friend, so I'm so excited to have her on today. Thanks for joining me, Jackie.
Thank you. Very long years.
Long years, but they've been good.
Oh, yeah.
They've been good. People are actually kind of surprised that we've never been roommates, but I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like when you have such a solid friendship, you kind of want to preserve it the way it is, and you don't want to like put it in jeopardy.
We know each other too well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we would maybe drive each other crazy. But like in a loving way. And the wine for this week is called Primal Roots, and it's a 2016 red blend from California. It's a really dark wine. It's got aromas of mocha, black cherry, vanilla, and spice. And I think it's okay. Like, it's a solid red. What do you think about it?
It's okay. It is strong, full-bodied. Goes down easy, though.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good.
And so yeah, give it a shot if you like red blends, I guess. And
I like the name.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's an interesting bottle. It says sensual and provocative.
That's how I feel.
Do you feel sensual and provocative right now? I mean, those are very primal things to feel. Yeah, we are recording in my mom's office today. My roommate, speaking of roommates, is moving out of our 2-bedroom apartment, and so she is kind of, she's kind of taking over our space right now. Just getting all our stuff out and whatnot. So in order for us to have a very chill environment to record in, I decided just to take it on over to my mom's office. So she's got a nice corner office, some nice windows. It's a pretty good setup.
Good chill vibe.
Chill vibes. All right, so I wanted to talk about roommates specifically because it's kind of that time of year where lots of people are getting new ones, especially if you're in college and whatnot. And I want to discuss what being a good roommate means, and also things that you absolutely should not do when you live with other people, like some common sense things that some people just can't seem to comprehend. So I wanted to ask you, Jackie, what does being a good roommate mean to you?
Well, being a good roommate is unfortunately some compromise. You have to kind of take it down a notch sometimes with your habits, and recognize your habits, and just look out for the other person.
For sure.
Or multiple people.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to make things super homey, and I think it makes people happy as long as you're not, like, overbearing. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I kind of came up with, like, a good roomie list,
Nice.
and we can talk about that. And what I feel like is, like, kind of a general list for, what being a good roommate means and all that it entails and whatnot. So the first thing on the list is being respectful. So that means someone who asks to use your things, like doesn't just walk in your room and take an outfit, or like, you know what I mean, or takes your shoes. Someone who chips in, because you need, you know what I mean, like when you live with one person or multiple people, like cleaning duties, things like that, like someone who, can respect that. And like also someone who isn't up all hours of the night, keeping everyone up.
Vacuuming? No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Vacuuming late at night, boning late at night, which is fine, but maybe just like
different.
keep it
Yeah.
keep it super chill.
Yeah.
Keep it chill, be respectful. And I think it's just kind of being aware of others.
Like a social awareness, even in your own home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then someone who is responsible. So someone who pays their bills on time, isn't destructive, isn't punching holes in the wall, or just not caring for the space that you're coexisting in,
Or destructive to themselves.
Yeah.
That can be rough.
Oh, that can be bad too.
I feel like I'm being so negative.
No,
Sorry.
it's good because we're talking about what we want and whatnot in the people that we live with. I think that's important. Someone who, like, just remembers the little things, like to lock up, someone who does their part, someone who pulls their own weight. And you wouldn't think that that's too much to ask for, but you just never know what you're going to get with people. And you might know someone, and then when you room with them, they're a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary to me.
You didn't know you knew anything about them.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like it almost ruins friendships sometimes. Because you go from, like, just seeing this person out or on the weekends or whatever to living with them every single day, seeing, like, all their, like, little flaws and whatnot. So that's another thing that you have to think about.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one is big for me, and I know, like, some people are more clean than others, but being clean,
Yes.
at least to the point where, like, you know, you're not overstepping and, like, making it a hassle for those that you're living with.
No, yeah. My big thing is the refrigerator. I think it's a shame, like, that people just let things... I know it's, like, a everyone thing, but they just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to care. I mean, that's all it is.
Shit should not be in there from 2012. Let me just tell you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when things hit an expiration, throw that bitch out.
Yes.
Like, we do not need the clutter. We don't need any of that.
And basic cleaning. Just be basic.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. Just don't let it get out of hand, basically. Also, I think another one for being a good roommate is also being kind and being empathetic. Because, like, people do go through shit.
Yeah.
And you should let them go through their shit, you know, as long as it's not, you know, really hindering you or, like, whatever. I don't know.
Even if they explain that to you, going through a hard time, which is hard for anyone.
Yeah.
And they might take it out on you, and that's where I think the line crosses.
Totally, yes.
I'm not.
Someone who can't deal with their shit and everything, like, nothing is ever their fault.
Yeah.
That's, like, the worst. That's the worst. Because then they can't see their own flaws. You're right. It is. It's exhausting and, like, just no bueno. So, and then, like, that kind of goes into what I was going to say next. So, if you're friends, be attentive.
Yeah.
Like, ask how someone's doing or follow up with them. And if they're acting extra quiet one week, be like, are you okay? You know, like...
Spread the love.
Yeah, spread the love. And I feel like I've lived with people who just kind of, like, only care about themselves. And, like, they just... Which is fine. Like, you didn't sign on to be my therapist. I get it. But, like, if you're friends and you're living with someone, like, check in on them. Make sure they're good. You know, like, people go through shit that other people would have no idea that you're even going through, you know? So I think that that's really, really important as well. Oh, and this one is, the last one on my good roomie list is stay away from dangerous topics. So
Ooh, what's that?
Things that you know you'll fight about, like politics or religion, or I think for me, I couldn't live with someone who was on the opposite spectrum as me, like, politically. Like, I don't think I could ever live with a Trump supporter. Like, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. Truly, you don't believe in any of my rights as a woman or as a minority. And, like, as a Hispanic person, like, fuck you. Like, no. So I wouldn't live with that kind of person anyway. But if you do live with someone that you know you're going to fight with about that stuff, maybe just don't talk about that stuff. Because it will end badly.
It will.
Like, nothing good can come of that.
That might not even be where your fight stems from. It's just...
Right.
Your morals are
different. Yeah, just, like, different morals. I was going to say shitty morals. Like, that sounds so bad. But honestly, like, if you still are supporting Trump, I don't even know what to tell you at this point. We don't have to get into that, though. We're talking roommates. On my bad roommate list, the first thing is people who are selfish. So unaware of anyone's needs but their own. I know we kind of touched on it, but...
I think we all know what that looks like.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
No.
No one wants you as a roommate.
And it's crazy because these are the people who don't know it. And they can't see it in themselves.
Ugh. They just get too comfortable or something. And
or they're just not used to other people's wants or needs. Maybe they're an only child. Maybe they're, you know, they were super sheltered or whatever. And they just don't even know how to process someone else's, like, needs or anything. So that's a bad trait. If you didn't know, that's a bad one.
You can't help being an only child, but you can try and help other people
yeah.
and yourself.
and how you would grow and evolve from
that. Always grow.
Absolutely.
Always grow.
Next on the bad roomie list, late on bills. You know what? When you sign up for something,
there's a little leeway.
There is.
Not a lot. A little.
A little.
Don't be rude.
Right. And when you sign up for something, you're committing to it. And if you can't commit to a 12-month lease or to whatever you're signing up for, don't fucking do it. Like, it's not fair to the other people involved. And, you know, bills, they're due on the same time generally every month. So it's not like you can use that as an excuse either. Like, oh, I didn't know it was due, or I didn't know, like, no, like, the bills are there, and you know that they're there, and you know that we have to pay them every single month. And if you can't do that, then don't sign a lease with me.
Right. And I've always put bills in my name. So it's...
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why other people don't want to. I'm like always first to volunteer, but...
Yeah, but then it's frustrating because if they don't get you, you know, your money or whatever, then, like, yeah, it is in your name. So you're taking money out of your own pocket and paying for their half or whatever it is. And it's just not fucking cool. And, like, people say they forget. They say what, like, that's cool maybe, like, 1 or 2 times, but don't ever be a repeated offender. And if you can't hang, then find a subleaser or something and get out of that situation. Like, it's just not fair to other people. So.
Side note, there's like all these new apps for that.
Yeah, like reminders.
I don't mean to, like, promote them. Yeah, reminders, and then like split the bills and stuff like that.
Yeah, I put everything on my phone. Like, I have so much going on that, like, I need to be organized like that. Like, I have notes, I have reminders, I have a bunch of different things. Like, there's no excuse nowadays. If you need a fucking planner, like old school pen and paper, like, do that.
Big calendar on your refrigerator.
Yeah. Definitely. Next on the bad roomie list, loud. So people, I mean, I'm not really, like, that crazy about this.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a bad...
Like, loud roomie. Like, someone who's always blasting music, or someone who, you know, is blasting music to cover up them, like, getting fucked, but you can hear both, and then you're like, shit. This is annoying.
I'd
like,
almost rather hear one or the other.
Yeah, just pick one.
That's fucked up.
No, so I don't know, and I get it. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, you know, most people are loud during sex. That's fine, but maybe not at like 3 a.m. when your roommates have to get up at 8 or 7 or whatever. You know, so just being mindful. We kind of already talked about this. People who are dirty.
Yeah.
Dude, just be like aware of others.
I've lived with guys and I've lived with girls. Both are capable. Just do it.
Capable of being clean or capable of being...
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, being clean and just not seeing. Like, I think it's just tunnel vision people get. And you just gotta widen it and be courteous of others.
Totally.
That's all it is.
Yeah, like, think about what you would want if that were your space or whatever. Like, just basic respect. That's all. RESPECT. Shout out Aretha.
Love you, girl.
Love you, girl. R.I.P.
She can do it all. Sorry.
True. She's only, and her place is just over an hour away from us, actually. She lives in the Detroit area, so yeah. So I've driven by her house. It looked like a fucking castle, like freaking Hogwarts or some shit. Like, gorgeous, obviously. But yeah, okay, so anyway, someone who doesn't reciprocate, like a bad sexual partner, someone who won't who won't give back what you're giving them, you know. Shall I say? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that fits.
Yeah, like, because if you're the one who's always going out of your way to buy toilet paper or paper towel or groceries or whatever, like, someone who can't at least meet you halfway. It's like, we're all adults. This is basic. Some basic shit right here, people. And the last thing was doesn't respect requests, wants, or needs. So basically someone who doesn't compromise, which is
a repeat offender.
Yeah. And that's like what living with someone is. It's compromise, you know? 'Cause
unfortunately, I mean, I don't think you should compromise too much in your life, but just expanding your view.
Yeah.
That just helps your personal life and your life all over. I don't know if that's relevant, but...
True that. No, for sure.
I'd like to take a minute to talk to you guys about FabFitFun. FabFitFun is a seasonal subscription box that delivers full-size fashion, beauty, home, fitness, and wellness products, delivered 4 times a year for just $49.99 a box. I love receiving my box and trying all my new products. They're all high-end and excellent quality. I love them, and I know you will too. And it's also a fantastic value because many of these products' individual value is more than the entire cost of the box. And on top of getting such great products for such an incredible value, FabFitFun members also get access to exclusive sales from all the amazing brands that FabFitFun partners with at really great deals, up to 70% off. So sign up for FabFitFun today and get your fall box. The FabFitFun fall box is in limited supply, and these boxes always sell out. Use my code HORFORD to get $10 off your first box. Go to fabfitfun.com to sign up and start getting the box for a life well lived. Use promo code HORFORD to get $10 off your first box. That's over $200 for $39.99. Go to fabfitfun.com and use my code HORFORD to get $10 off your first FabFitFun box.
Do you have any interesting, funny, or weird roommate experiences that you would like to share? We definitely don't have to name names, but I know of a couple that I would really like her to share, but...
Day 1, freshman year. Just kidding.
Day 1, freshman year, Central Michigan University.
You think you picked someone normal. No, I've had some interesting living situations. I've always felt lucky that I had never had to share a single room with someone. Mm-hmm. So that was nice.
Yeah.
We were separated.
But you have to tell them a little bit about freshman year roommate.
Well, my freshman year roommate she had schizophrenia and autism, and none of that was disclosed to me. Mm-hmm. Which, in retrospect, she's a very kind person.
Yeah.
Level-headed enough. It was just like...
Yeah.
She had... she would lock the door every single time she would leave. And lock me out so many times. Yeah. That's why I would just go to Anna's room.
Yeah,
she was a floor below me.
I lived right under Jackie, and she actually ended up being, our secret, 5th roommate, because we had the dorm room with, the 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a bathroom, and Jackie she seriously lived, basically. That was the closest we got to living together.
That's true, yeah.
Because she was always locked out by her roommate. Everyone's different socially. And she also was, schizophrenic and stuff. And I don't know what that's like. I really don't. No. And I don't think that we ever, faulted her for that. The thing about the whole situation was that CMU never told you that you had a schizophrenic roommate.
Yeah.
You found out because didn't you see her prescription bottle or something?
Yeah, it was out. And I was being nosy, but it was out and I wanted to know.
Yeah. Ugh. And you wouldn't, that seems kind of fucked. You should... definitely tell people.
At least, a little piece of that.
Disclose something.
Or maybe she should have told me when we were, texting beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened exactly.
Yeah.
But I stuck with her the whole year.
You did. I thought Jackie was not going to make it.
You
made it. Yeah.
I had you.
We were always out and about, which was a really, really good thing. Mm-hmm. And that same year, I actually had a fucking batshit crazy roommate.
So bad.
And I'm not going to name names, obviously, but...
1 semester, was it?
Yeah. She made it 1 semester with us. This bitch,
Crazy eyes.
She looked insane. And she had some, home issues. She became emancipated from her parents when she was really young. And, I know she had a really hard life. But you guys, this girl was batshit fucking crazy. We shared a room. She'd be up on her laptop watching YouTube videos in the middle of the night when I had to get up for, an 8 a.m. class. And, it went on for, months. And also, she had, this really country boyfriend, which was fine, except for the fact that they were always having, sex. And every time after they had sex, our room smelled like a barn.
Ew.
What were you doing? And they would leave their condoms on the floor and shit. And, one night, I was just
some barn shit.
It was, so gross. One night, I was please get off your computer. And she was no, I'm not going to. This is my room, too. I was yeah, but I have to get up in the morning. It's really early. Could you go in the living area that we have to live in, if, right. I'm trying to fucking go to bed. She was no, don't think so. I don't feel like it. I fucking switched on that light, Like, and I just started screaming at her. And I was like, fuck you, you stupid fucking bitch. Like, just going crazy.
Breaking point.
And it was, like, definitely breaking point. My roommates woke up. They were both on my side because they knew she was crazy. We got our RA, and he came down, separated us. And I got that bitch kicked out, like, a day or two later. She ended up on the south end of campus, and I was like, good riddance.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't take long.
No, not at all, because I think everyone knew she was absolutely insane. So shout out to Jackie and our other roommate, Jenny, and Alex for keeping me sane, because that was some rough shit. And you don't get to pick. Like, you don't get to pick your roommates. The rest of us got along great. And, so she was nuts.
I can move on to my Craigslist.
Yes.
Endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
So Craigslist can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. And I met my worst enemy. No, I think that my Craigslist find was like, she was just self-abusive and an alcoholic. I don't know. I don't mean to
She was like...
It was rough.
Ooh, she was a talker, too.
Oh my God, for hours.
Like, if she cornered you,
I was super nice
fucked.
to her for the longest time.
You were.
And then
you were very patient.
She poked the teddy bear. And my mom had to break us up. We were fighting hardcore. My mom's my next door neighbor, and I could hear, she could hear us, so.
Yeah. Also, I would like to mention that she was... Jackie's feeling it. You feeling the primal roots?
Primal roots are in.
Sensual and provocative. Might need to wait till you get home to indulge, but...
Yeah.
The other thing about your roommate that I thought was really weird was that she was gay, but she was a hardcore Trump supporter.
Tell it.
Like,
super weird.
This bitch was crazy. Like, he literally does not want you to find love or get married. And, like...
She got up from a conversation we were having. Like, she couldn't handle it.
And it was a very, like, calm...
Yeah.
Calm, like, peaceful convo.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Yeah. She said that he was going to run our country like a business, and that's how it should be.
And we asked her to explain, and she couldn't.
That's when she got up.
Mm-hmm. And she just left, because most people fucking can't, because he's a failed businessman and a lot of things. And has filed for bankruptcy several times, and, awesome. So, yeah, that was not a good one. But you've had better luck since then. So that's good.
I lived with best friends. I live with my other best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I make the best of it, though.
Yeah, Jackie's a very mellow, easygoing person. We're, like, very opposite. I'm just a lot more, like, bitchy and a little bit more, like,
I'm just
high-strung.
sometimes bitchy.
Yeah, but even when she's bitchy, she's nice. Like, she'll be like, you're a bitch, Anna. Like, so chill. Like, okay. Then I know I need to tone it down a little bit. So... anything else? I'm trying to think of other roommate situations. I lived with my brother John, and when he played for Michigan, and we were in like one of the teammate houses or whatever. I lived with my boyfriend at the time with them, and let me tell you, living with college athletes is a fucking trip.
Hilarious.
You see a lot of shit. I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus, name names, whatever, but you do see some shit.
But John would cook for you.
John, my brother, is an amazing cook.
I like to cook for my roomies, too.
And so, yeah, he and his girlfriend, Christina, were great. Like, they would always cook for us and stuff.
Plus.
Yeah, so that was always good. And I think I had a lot of fun, too. So it was good times. Okay, so I asked you guys on Twitter... if you had any, roommate stories that were funny or interesting or anything like that. I only got a couple Twitter responses. I got a lot more, sent to the Gmail because some of them are kind of long. But what I got on Twitter was, Brandon said, I once had a roommate steal a shirt with my last name on it and my socks that I just got done working out in. Not sure why, but it was just weird. Like, what was he doing with those?
Oh, he liked your scent. Sorry.
Oh, maybe he did. Primal, sensual, provocative.
Primal roots.
Just like this wine. Boy George said, Had a roommate who was on the crew team. He would go to practice at night, come to our room, wouldn't shower, and wake up the next day. He would only wash his sheets during holidays. He had our room smelling like ripe booty. Also, he got caught masturbating with the door open twice.
Oh.
Learn from your mistakes,
Yeah.
man.
No one wants to see that.
That is not cool. Like, gross. Not cool at all. All right. Ty said, back in the early 90s, I roomed with a bar manager who worked late nights. Our paths seldom crossed. Without telling me, he decided to have a garage/home sale on a Saturday morning. I came home late Friday night and went to bed. I didn't realize he had put price tags on furniture, knickknacks, and other items in the house because it was dark when I came home. I woke up the next morning and heard lots of people talking right outside my bedroom door. I go out in the living room and there are all these people standing around and I'm in my underwear.
Oh, no.
Where was my roommate? Nowhere to be found. He had left the front door open with signs in the front yard that said sale inside. There I am, barely dressed, people laughing, asking me prices.
Oh my god.
Holy
you think
shit.
he would be there to accept money or something?
Like, was your roommate, like, just, like, was he doing a lot of coke the night before or something? And he was just, like...
Very well could have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That seems like a really fucking weird situation.
How crazy.
So weird. Next one is Dustin. He said, I had a roommate who absolutely refused to clean his dishes. It would go on for weeks. He would fill the sink and cover the counter with used plates, pots, and pans. For about 2 years, we would do them for him when it got unbearable. But finally, we decided to just let it go. We figured that once we ran out of clean silverware and dishes and we had nothing to eat on, he would have to wash them. We were wrong. Once he ran out of dishes, he bought paper plates and plastic forks. We literally had maggots in our sink. We tried to physically force him to do it, and he packed up and moved out. We ended up having to throw away everything and buy all new dishes and silverware because it was so disgusting.
Oh my god.
Ew.
How annoying.
That's horrible. And if you do that, like, I'm sorry, but you're just shitty.
You're a caveman.
Like, what's your excuse?
Cave woman.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? No, not cool. Oh, this one was really funny. Okay, so Milton said... Milton. I once had a roommate who barely made a living drawing animated porn, hentai, and pretty much anything repulsive people request with money. Hot. Of course, it wouldn't be as bad if he did it in his room, but unfortunately, he set up his office in the living room. So whenever I came home from work, I would open my door to my place and would always see crazy images like a man raping a horse, while on the second computer, he would be interacting with one of the hundreds of naked webcam girls. So yes, I was never able to invite anyone over to my place until the end of the lease. Oh, Milton.
Wrong.
I hope you're not friends with him anymore. Like, what the fuck? This guy seems like he has, like, some deep-rooted issues.
You should be able to invite people over to your home.
Yeah, that sucks. That they would have just been, like, attacked with porn.
Porn attack. Okay,
That's
sorry.
not cool. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, and the next one is from Paul. Who said, about 10 years ago, I was living with a buddy of mine, but he lost his job and I got stuck paying for the entirety of the rent for the remainder of the lease. Naturally, I was looking for a cheaper solution once my lease was up. I was unable to find anyone I knew at the time, so I took a shot on a Craigslist ad someone had up looking for a roommate. I went to visit, and it was a gay guy and an Asian girl. Gay dude asked me outright if I was single, which oddly enough I didn't find offensive at all, despite how weird that question seems now. I don't think that's really that weird. At least probably wasn't weird to him.
It was like the last question.
Yeah. I thought the Asian girl was cute when I first met her. Anyhow, the meet went well, and I moved in a couple weeks later. After moving in, I met a bunch of people and a few girls, most of whom were friends with my new roommates. I dated one of those girls I had met, but really started digging my new Asian roommate. Not only was she cute, she was incredibly cool to hang out with, and she was very laid back, which was different than what I was used to. But she was my roommate, and I felt uncomfortable fucking a roommate situation up for a date. Eventually I said, fuck it, because she was too cool. Long story short, that Asian girl I found on Craigslist is now my wife, and that gay dude that asked if I was single is one of my best friends. Sometimes you just take a shot. You might hit it.
Aww.
Aw,
So
that's
sweet.
that's a good story. Like, happy ending.
Craigslist, positive.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder how many of those there are.
My
out in the
roommate
world.
now is from Craigslist. She's nice.
And it's going well so far.
Going
Still kind of
stellar.
new, but good vibes on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I just wanted to kind of close out this episode with things that help when it comes to living with others. My number one thing is a roommate questionnaire. So this is to check compatibility and to make sure that they're not a felon, and also just to see if you would, like I said, be compatible, and how late do they stay up at night, what are their cleaning habits, and you can find some really good questions to ask people like on Google or whatever. So roommate questionnaire is really good. Make sure you live with someone who is financially responsible and has a steady job/income. Because you don't want to be, like, surprised a few weeks in and have them be like, oh, yeah, like, my parents paid for my first month, and now I don't know what I'm going to do, kind of thing.
Yeah, that happened to me.
It did?
Yeah. Her mom just, like, handed over all the money, and then I should have known.
Yeah.
Should have known.
Should have known. See, red flag right there.
Red flag. Listen to red flags.
Mm-hmm. The third one is stay organized. So at my apartment, because I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath that I share with one other person, I write our monthly bills on a whiteboard on the fridge. And so, there's no excuse to not get the bills paid on time, and there's no question as to how much it is or anything like that. So I think that's a really, really good thing. Also, being upfront with each other. So try not to be passive aggressive. I know it's really hard when you don't necessarily feel good confronting people about things, but it's better just to air it all out and like figure out what is actually wrong, or like what you want to change or whatever, and just do it.
I feel like I try to be a peacekeeper, and even saying things can be misheard and things like that.
Totally.
I feel like I ended up just doing things anyways, like cleaning, or so I think it takes people time.
Yeah.
Don't expect it right away to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, maybe in a couple of weeks or so, you see some
Yeah.
changes, and I think that's even positive. So
Definitely.
go with that.
Absolutely. Setting boundaries is another one.
Mm-hmm.
So something that you're not comfortable with, or something, whatever, like make sure you are upfront and you set those boundaries right away. We didn't really talk about like hooking up with roommates, but what are your thoughts on that? Because that's another boundary. People are like,
I think it doesn't work out. So
I feel like it usually doesn't, right?
It usually
like,
doesn't, yeah.
Because then, there could be jealousy involved, or like...
There is no peacekeeping there.
Yeah.
So maybe very little.
maybe don't fuck your roommate, know?
Or maybe do. I don't know.
Or maybe do. It worked out for our last story.
Very cute.
So...
But they got to know each other for a long time.
True.
Oh,
And they were roommates already, and like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just feel out your situation. And also what we talked about earlier, compromise. So it's not all about you or them. You got to find a sweet spot, man.
Sweet spot.
And you just got to roll with it.
Preach.
And the last one is never sign on to something you won't be able to see all the way through, which I know we kind of talked about, but I think that's really important. And I feel like some people just get like really excited about like a new possible opportunity or whatever, and they like sign right away, or they do the whatever, and then they're kind of like, oh shit.
Make sure it's the best possible situation for you. Affordable. Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys for being open and for sharing your personal stories with us. And I hope that you guys learned a lot. Like I said, if you're moving in with people, it's back to school time for college kids. Like, be mindful, take notes of, what you heard in this episode, maybe, I don't know. And just try and learn and do your best. And
do your best. And side note, get a bathroom organizer. It'll make everyone happy.
Yeah, bathroom organizers are really nice if you have to share a bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever be able to share a bathroom with anyone because I'm a bougie bitch. But if you had to, that seems like a really, really good idea. And thank you, Jackie, for joining me. I'm so happy to have you on.
Great.
Just getting tipsy, drinking this
I'm
sexy wine.
Tipsy.
Yeah.
Why do you keep calling it sexy?
Because it's like the wording on the back is so like,
we'll go with it.
Ooh. All right, guys. Well, if you have anything to add or if you have any follow-up stories or anything like that, you can always email horfordhappyhour@gmail.com, and I will talk to you guys again next week.